There's a reason high performers obsess over the morning. It's not superstition. It's not trend. It's strategy. When you wake up early, you are not just changing your schedule. You are changing your psychological position in the world. Most people wake up in reaction mode. The alarm rings. Notifications flood in. Emails demand attention. Social media pulls at their focus. Before their feet even hit the floor, their mind belongs to somebody else. That is not leadership. That is surrender. When you wake up early, before the noise, before the demands, before the expectations, you reclaim authority over your own mind. That's what leaders understand. That's what elite performers understand. It's why voices like Eric Thomas constantly emphasize ownership. Because winning in the morning is not about time, it's about control. Early hours offer something rare in modern life: psychological quiet. And quiet is power. In silence, you can think without interruption. You can reflect without pressure. You can plan without panic. Neuroscience tells us that willpower and decision-making are strongest when the mind is rested. Early morning is when cognitive resources are at their peak. That means the most important decisions of your life deserve your freshest mind, not your leftovers at the end of the day. Think about it philosophically. The morning represents potential. It's untouched. It hasn't been influenced by failure, criticism, comparison, or distraction. When you rise early, you step into that potential deliberately. You are making a statement: I will not allow the world to dictate the pace of my life. And pace matters. People who wake up late are often chasing the day. They are catching up, responding, reacting. But those who wake up early set the tempo. They need first, they think first, they act first. In psychology, there's a principle called proactive versus reactive behavior. Proactive individuals shape circumstances. Reactive individuals are shaped by them. The morning is where that difference begins. You don't need 5 extra hours. You need 1 intentional hour. 1 hour to train your body, 1 hour to strengthen your mind, 1 hour to align your goals, 1 hour where the world cannot interrupt your growth. That single hour compounds daily, quietly, relentlessly. Let's go deeper. Identity is built through repeated action. When you consistently wake up early, you are reinforcing a new self-concept. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You begin to see yourself as someone who executes. That internal shift changes everything. Behavior follows identity. If you identify as disciplined, you act disciplined. If you identify as focused, you protect your focus. Waking up early is not about impressing people. No one is applauding at 5 a.m. No one is posting trophies for you. That's why it matters. It builds internal validation. You are proving something to yourself, not to the world. And self-trust is one of the most powerful psychological assets you can develop. When you keep promises to yourself, your confidence stops being fragile. It becomes structural. Now understand this: early rising is not about punishment. It's not about grinding yourself into exhaustion. It's about intentionality. It's about deciding that your goals deserve your best energy, not your spare energy. There is a difference. Many people say they want success, clarity, purpose, but they negotiate with their mornings. They delay, they snooze, they postpone. And in doing so, they postpone the very life they claim to desire. Winning the morning is symbolic. It represents your willingness to confront discomfort immediately. The bed is warm. The room is quiet. Your body says stay. Discipline says rise. That small internal battle sets the tone for every other decision that day. When you win the first battle, the rest become easier. Momentum is real. Psychologically, early achievement triggers a sense of progress. Progress fuels motivation. Motivation fuels action. Action fuels results. It starts before sunrise. You don't have to be extreme. You have to be consistent. Wake up with purpose, move with intention, protect your focus, direct your energy. Because once the world wakes up, it will demand something from you. The question is, will you already have demanded something from yourself? If you can master the first hour of your day, you can master the direction of your life. And the person who controls their mornings doesn't chase success. They build it one sunrise at a time. Now let's go deeper. Because waking up early is not just about time management. It's about discipline. And discipline, if you truly understand it, is not restriction. It is freedom. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think it's punishment. They think it's rigidity. They think it's waking up tired, forcing yourself through pain, living without enjoyment. But that's a surface level view. Real discipline is self-command. It's the ability to give yourself an order and follow it. That's power. When you hit snooze, what you're really saying is that your emotions outrank your commitments. In that moment, comfort wins. But when you rise anyway, when your body says stay and your vision says move, you are restructuring your internal hierarchy. You are teaching your mind that purpose comes before preference, and that changes everything. Psychologically, every time you override immediate comfort for long-term gain, you strengthen what researchers call delayed gratification. This is the foundation of success in any field: business, fitness, academics, leadership, the ability to sacrifice now so you can multiply later. Discipline trains that muscle. Daily. Let's make this practical. When you consistently wake up early, you are building evidence. Evidence that you can do hard things. Evidence that you are reliable. Evidence that your word means something, especially to yourself. And self-trust is the hidden currency of achievement. You see, confidence is not built by hype. It's built by proof. When someone like Eric Thomas talks about wanting something as badly as you want to breathe, he's not talking about emotion. He's talking about commitment. And commitment is discipline sustained over time. There's a philosophical dimension here too. Freedom without structure becomes chaos. Look at anyone who lives purely by impulse. They eat when they feel like it. They work when they feel motivated. They rest without intention. On the surface, that looks like freedom, but in reality, they are enslaved to mood, distraction, and inconsistency. Discipline flips that equation. When you control your habits stop controlling you. When you control your schedule stops overwhelming you. When you control your mornings stop controlling your outcomes. Think about this. Every major regret in life is usually tied to a lack of discipline. Not studying, not training, not saving, not preparing. Rarely do people regret being too consistent. They regret being too comfortable. Comfort is seductive. It whispers. Discipline speaks quietly but carries authority. And here's where it gets philosophical. Discipline is an act of self-respect. When you wake up early because you said you would, you are honoring your future self. You are acknowledging that the person you are becoming deserves effort from the person you are today. That's maturity. Children act on feeling. Adults act on principle. If you want extraordinary results in 2026, you cannot operate on emotion. Emotions fluctuate. Motivation fades. Inspiration comes and goes, but discipline is stable. It does not need to feel good to function. And here's the paradox. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you experience. When you wake up early and train your body, you gain freedom in your health. When you wake up early and work on your goals, you gain freedom in your finances. When you wake up early and read or reflect, you gain freedom in your thinking. Discipline removes future limitations. The person who refuses to wake up early because it feels hard will eventually face a life that is harder. The person who embraces short-term discomfort builds long-term flexibility. This is not about extremes. It's about alignment. Your actions must align with your ambitions. If your dream requires focus, then your mornings must reflect focus. If your goal requires growth, your routine must reflect growth. Every time you rise before the sun, you are making the declaration, I will not negotiate with my potential. That repetition reshapes identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes. You become someone who executes. You stop waiting to feel ready. You move because it's time. Discipline simplifies life. It removes internal debate. There's no daily argument about whether you should get up. The decision was already made. And when decisions are automated by principle, mental energy is preserved for creativity, strategy, and leadership. You are not trying to be perfect. You are trying to be consistent because consistency compounds. One early morning does not transform your life. 100 will. One disciplined week won't change your identity. One disciplined year will. The question is not whether waking up early is difficult. It is. The question is whether you are willing to exchange momentary comfort for lasting capability. If you can master the discipline of rising when it's inconvenient, you can master the discipline required for every other arena of your life. And here's the truth you need to sit with. The life you say you want is on the other side of the habits you avoid. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings and comfort calls your name, ask yourself one question: who is in charge? Because the moment you choose discipline over comfort, you don't just wake up earlier, you rise higher. Now, once you've made the decision to wake up early, and once you've embraced discipline as freedom, the next question becomes critical. What do you actually do with that time? Because waking up early without intention is just being tired earlier. The morning is not powerful by default. It becomes powerful when you design it. Structure creates momentum. Ritual creates identity. A strong morning routine is not about copying someone else's habits. It's about building a system that aligns your body, mind, and direction before the world makes its demands. Let's start with the body. Movement in the morning is more than fitness. It is neurological activation. When you exercise, you increase blood flow to the brain. You release endorphins, dopamine, and norepinephrine, chemicals that sharpen focus and elevate mood. You are not just training muscles. You are preparing your nervous system for performance. Think about that. Most people walk into their day mentally half awake. But when you train early, you send a signal to yourself, we are operating at a high level today. That signal carries into meetings, decisions, conversations. Energy is contagious, and it begins with you. Now let's move to the mind. Reading, reflecting, journaling. These are not soft activities. They are intellectual conditioning. If you don't feed your mind intentionally, it will consume whatever is loudest. News, social media, other people's opinions. But leaders don't let the world dictate their thoughts first thing in the morning. They choose their input. This is where psychological sovereignty begins. When you read something challenging, when you expose yourself to new ideas, you are expanding cognitive range. When you journal, you clarify internal noise. Writing forces thinking. It forces precision. You begin to see patterns in your fears, your habits, your ambitions. And clarity reduces anxiety. A confused mind hesitates. A clear mind executes. Then comes planning. This is where philosophy meets practicality. Goals without structure are wishes. A powerful morning routine includes reviewing your priorities, not 10 tasks, not chaos, 3 to 5 meaningful actions that move your life forward. You are deciding before the world interrupts what matters most. High performers across industries emphasize intentional planning. Even someone like David Goggins speaks about the power of mental rehearsal and structured accountability. He doesn't rely on feeling ready. He relies on systems. That's the difference. Your morning routine is your personal system of alignment. Body activated, mind sharpened, priorities clarified. And let's not ignore gratitude, not the superficial kind, the deliberate recognition of opportunity. Gratitude stabilizes ambition. It prevents you from chasing success out of insecurity. Instead, you pursue growth from a position of strength. Psychologically, gratitude lowers stress responses and increases resilience. It reminds you that you are building from something, not from nothing. Here's the deeper layer. Rituals shape identity. When you repeat the same empowering behaviors every morning, you are casting votes for the type of person you want to become. Identity is not declared, it is constructed. If every morning includes movement, learning, planning, and reflection, eventually you stop trying to be disciplined. You simply are disciplined. Consistency reduces friction. The less you debate your routine, the more automatic excellence becomes. Now understand this. Your routine doesn't need to be 3 hours long. It needs to be intentional. 45 minutes of focused growth will outperform 2 hours of distracted activity every time. And it must be protected. Your phone cannot be the first thing you touch. Notifications cannot be the first voices you hear. If you allow the external world into your mind before you anchor yourself, you surrender your advantage. The morning is sacred because it is yours. Guard it. Over time, something powerful happens. You stop starting your day from zero. You begin each day with momentum already built. You've already achieved something before 8 a.m. You've already invested in yourself. That psychological edge carries forward. And when setbacks come, because they will, you are not destabilized as easily. Why? Because you built internal stability before the chaos arrived. That is the purpose of a powerful morning routine. Not productivity alone. Stability, clarity, direction. You're not just preparing for the day. You're reinforcing who you are. So don't just wake up early. Design your rise. Move your body. Train your mind. Define your priorities. Practice gratitude. Repeat it until it becomes part of you. Because a morning routine is not about checking boxes. It's about constructing a life, one deliberate action at a time. And if you can own your mornings with intention, you won't just start your day strong. You'll start becoming stronger. Now let's confront something uncomfortable but necessary. If you do what everyone else does, you will live like everyone else lives. That's not criticism. That's mathematics. Most people wake up when they have to. Most people move when pressure forces them. Most people delay growth until it becomes urgent. And then they wonder why their results look average. When you choose to wake up early consistently, you are doing more than building a habit. You are separating yourself from the default pattern of society. And default patterns produce predictable outcomes. Think about it. At 5 a.m., the world is quiet. The majority is asleep. There's less competition for time, for attention, for focus. That quiet space is not just peaceful, it is strategic. You are operating when demand is low and potential is high. Separation is not about arrogance, it's about standards. Psychologically, human beings are wired for conformity. We feel safe doing what others do. If everyone around you wakes up late, scrolls for an hour, rushes through the morning, that becomes normal. And normal feels comfortable, but normal does not build exceptional lives. Exceptional lives require uncommon choices. When you rise early while others sleep, you are making a statement without saying a word. I am willing to do what is inconvenient. And inconvenience is the gateway to advantage. Let's approach this intellectually. Success in any field is often about marginal gains, small, consistent improvements compounded over time. One extra focused hour each morning equals 7 extra hours a week. That's nearly an additional workday. Multiply that over a year, and you've created weeks of extra growth. Reading, planning, training, building while others say they don't have time, you manufactured it. That is separation. But here's the deeper philosophical layer. Separation builds identity strength. When you repeatedly choose actions that differ from the majority, you strengthen your independence of thought. You stop needing validation for your discipline. You stop explaining why you wake up early. You simply do it because it aligns with who you are becoming. That internal alignment creates confidence that does not depend on applause. Look at high performers across industries. They often operate on schedules and standards that look extreme to the average person. Not because they want to suffer, but because they understand leverage. They understand that early effort reduces later struggle. When you train your mind and body while others delay, you build resilience. When pressure comes, you are not shocked by difficulty. You've rehearsed it every morning by choosing effort over ease. And let's be clear, separation is lonely at times. You may go to bed earlier than your friends. You may decline late night distractions. You may feel out of sync with people who don't share your urgency. That's part of the cost. But the cost of staying average is greater. It's the slow realization that you could have done more. Average is crowded. Excellence is sparse. There's also a psychological momentum that comes from knowing you are ahead of the curve. When you've already invested in yourself before most people wake up, your posture changes. You walk into rooms differently. You engage in conversations differently. There is a quiet confidence that says, I've done the work. And that confidence is earned, not performed. Separation is not about competing with others. It's about competing with your former self. If last year you woke up at 8, this year you rise at 5:30. If last month you hesitated, this month you execute. That daily edge compounds into transformation. In 2026, the world will be more distracted than ever. Technology will be louder. Attention spans will be shorter. Comfort will be more accessible. That means discipline will be rarer. Focus will be rarer. Deep work will be rarer. And rarity creates value. If you can cultivate focus while others fragment their attention, you become valuable. If you can sustain discipline while others drift, you become dependable. If you can think deeply while others skim the surface, you become strategic. Waking up early is a simple act with symbolic weight. It signals that you refuse to live passively. It shows that you are willing to front load effort instead of postponing it. It demonstrates that your ambitions are stronger than your excuses. Separation begins in private. No audience, no spotlight, just you and a decision. And over time, those private decisions create public results. So don't aim to blend in. Don't aim to match the pace of the crowd. Decide that your goals deserve uncommon commitment. Decide that your future deserves early effort. Decide that average is not your destination. Because the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is often one quiet hour that most people choose to sleep through. And if you are willing to rise when others rest, you won't just separate yourself from the crowd. You'll redefine what's possible for your life. And now we arrive at the deeper truth behind all of this. Your future is built before 8 a.m., not metaphorically, practically, psychologically, philosophically. The version of you that you hope to become, financially stable, physically strong, mentally sharp, emotionally disciplined, is not created in dramatic moments. It is constructed in quiet, repeated decisions. And those decisions are easiest to control in the early hours of the day. By the time most people begin reacting to life, the early riser has already invested in it. Let's think long term. 5 years from now, you will not accidentally arrive at success. You will arrive at the cumulative result of your habits. Habits are votes. Every early morning is a vote for the person you want to become. Every snoozed alarm is a vote for the person you're trying to outgrow. There is no neutral. This is where philosophy becomes personal responsibility. We like to believe our future will shift when circumstances change, when we feel more motivated, when we have more resources, when the timing is better. But circumstances are unpredictable. Identity is built internally. Morning decisions shape identity faster than almost any other daily action because they require immediate self-confrontation. When the alarm rings, there is no audience, no social pressure, no external accountability, just you and your integrity. That moment is powerful because it reveals alignment or misalignment between what you say you want and what you are willing to do. If you say you want financial growth, but you refuse to use your most alert hours to build skill or strategy, there is a disconnect. If you say you want physical transformation, but you avoid early discipline, there is a gap. The future is not confused. It simply follows patterns. Patterns create outcomes. Psychologically, the morning is when your cognitive bandwidth is highest. Decision fatigue hasn't set in. Emotional residue from the day hasn't accumulated. That's why strategic thinking, learning, planning, and training are most effective before 8 a.m. You are working with your biology instead of against it. And that matters because life will demand energy from you. Your job, your family, unexpected problems, responsibilities. If you wait till the end of the day to work on yourself, you are offering your goals whatever energy remains. Usually that's not your best. High performers understand leverage. They don't give their dreams leftovers. They give them priority. Look at individuals who consistently operate at high levels. Their success is rarely random. It is structured. It is intentional. Someone like Eric Thomas often emphasizes intensity, but beneath that intensity is routine. Beneath the passion is preparation. Before the speech, before the spotlight, there were mornings of discipline. You may not see those mornings, but you see their results. Here's another layer to consider. Early mornings create psychological momentum that compounds over decades. If you invest one focused hour each weekday for 10 years, you've accumulated thousands of hours of skill development, strategic thought, physical training, or creative output. That is not small. That is transformation. Your future self is shaped by what you repeatedly do when no one is watching, not by what you announce, not by what you intend, by what you execute. And there's something else. When you win the morning, you reduce regret. Regret often comes from knowing you had the opportunity, but didn't act. Waking up early consistently eliminates that narrative. You can end your day knowing you move forward, even if the rest of the day was chaotic. That internal peace matters because success is not only external achievement, it's internal alignment. It's going to bed knowing you honored your potential. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. If you cannot direct the first hour of your day, it is difficult to direct the trajectory of your life. Control is built in increments. Direction is built daily. And this doesn't require perfection. You will miss days. You will feel tired. You will face resistance. But the long-term trajectory belongs to the consistent, not the flawless. So when you think about 2026, don't think about massive resolutions. Think about mornings. Think about the first decision. Think about who you are becoming before the wet. Or even notices, because the life you want is not waiting somewhere in the distance. It is quietly forming in the routines you practice before 8 a.m. And tomorrow, when the alarm sounds, understand this. You are not just choosing whether to get up. You are choosing who you are becoming. Win the morning, and you don't just change your day, you change your destiny.